In this video, I'm going to remind you how to add and subtract matrices. Now, one of the first things you have to remember before you get started is whether or not you even can add or subtract the matrices. I've got 3 examples of matrices right here that I want to talk to you about with respect to their dimensions. Remember, we describe the dimensions of a matrix based on how many rows it has and how many columns it has. And we say something like, matrix A is a 2 by 2 matrix because it has 2 rows, 2 columns. Matrix B is also a 2 by 2. Notice that matrix C has 3 rows and it has 2 columns. So we're going to say it's a 3 by 2 matrix. Now, the dimensions of matrix A and matrix B are the same, so they can be added, they can be subtracted. Matrix C is a 3 by 2, so I cannot add matrix C to either A or B because the dimensions don't match. You may understand a little bit better in just a minute when I show you an example. So if I want to, example 1, if I want to say add matrix A to matrix B, what I'm going to do is just add their individual elements and keep them in their same location. That's why the dimensions have to match. So A is a 2 by 2, B is a 2 by 2, so my answer will be a 2 by 2. And what I'm going to do to combine those 2 matrices is I'm going to add the elements like this. Row 1, column 1 gets added to row 1, column 1 of matrix B. So 1 plus 5 is 6. Then I'll continue. Row 1, column 2 of matrix A gets added to row 1, column 2 of matrix B. 2 plus 1 is 3. And I continue in that same fashion. Negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So the sum of matrix A and B is this matrix right here. Now let me show you subtraction. If I wanted to say take matrix B, for example, and subtract A from it, then I'm going to start with matrix B. And by the way, when I do subtraction of matrices, I like to write my matrices in the order that they're given to me. So I'm going to rewrite them here. 5, 1, 0, 2. That's matrix B. I'm going to subtract from it matrix A. 1, 2, negative 3, 1. Now, something you might want to keep in mind, not forcing it on you, but I like to do it. It's helpful. It kind of alleviates some stress. When you think of subtracting the matrix behind the subtraction sign, when I subtract A, I'm going to subtract every single element of A from every element of B. So instead of trying to remember what I'm doing, what I always do is change the subtraction to add the opposite. But when I add the opposite of matrix A, I have to add the opposite of every single element of matrix A. So when I cross over my minus sign, make it a plus, I will say the opposite of 1 is a negative 1, the opposite of 2 is a negative 2, the opposite of negative 3 is a positive 3, and the opposite of 1 is a negative 1. Now I'm ready to subtract. Actually, since I changed it to add, I'm not going to be subtracting after all. I like to say combine. That's what I say. I'm going to combine my elements now. 5 combined with a negative 1 comes out to a 4. 1 combined with a negative 2 is a negative 1. I'll say it the way you see it. 0 plus 3. 2 plus negative 1. 2 plus negative 1 is a positive 1. So this is how you add matrices. This is how you subtract matrices. Keep in mind you cannot add or subtract if the dimensions don't match.